What's up, Spine Shiners? My sister girl came to visit me in Belize the last week before my return home. And even with the threat of a hurricane, we kicked it. It was everything that I needed it to be. I've had different trips or different sisters visit on different occasions, and each of those trips have been very different. And I just want to say that this one was exactly what I needed. And I must say, my sister, Mama Earth of higher vibrations, she got the full experience in a week.
For the past years, and we have about 400 acres in oranges, guys, and then we have about 100 acres all in spices and flowers. So majority of the land has been cultivated by oranges, guys. There's another flower that we also extract oil from, folks, which I'm gonna get you guys. It's called as yang lang or ilang ilang.
It was really, really refreshing. I had been in Belize, chilling by myself and kicking it with, few people here or there, but for the most part, alone. And the road is definitely a lonely one when you are abroad, but it's beautiful though. It's a beautiful journey, and it was a beautiful journey. Here now at Jaguar Reef. The scenery is beautiful. They were shutting things down because, again, the threat of Hurricane Lisa. So here you have it. People started boarding up property, and we had to go to town and get some things because it was said to land actually in Dangriga, which is very close to Hopkins. So, of course, if Dangriga was going to get hit, we were going to get hit. So we went to town and got some things. And what else do you do when there's a hurricane? You kick it still. We did some karaoke. We did some dramatization. Hey, check my girl out.
But when I see you, I knew it was a God.
And the Oscar goes to. So.
Cecilia. You think you slick gonna go down there? Your ass ain't fall up.
It didn't hit us. Rainbow. There's a rainbow in the sky all the time. Don't be blind. So, honey, that hurricane, we didn't even get hardly any rain. So we went walking, and now my girl is cooking on the veranda. I did. I put her to work. I had to get the bus in. I've been trying to get somebody to take the bus. We had to head up to San Ignacio. The sister that you just saw, I met her some time ago during my second trip, I believe it was. She's a photographer, so she allowed me to see this ruin from a resort. because the resort actually overlooks this ruin. So of course the view is, man, awesome. And I stayed in an Airbnb right across from this ruin, but I didn't go inside because I'm thinking, well, hey, if this resort overlooks the ruin, but man, y'all, when I tell you, the energy in this place, wow. Zunatanich, if I'm pronounced it correctly, is a popular one, but this one, I don't know. The energy that people say they feel in Zunatanich, I just didn't. I didn't get that same vibe. Somebody told me it's because that is a newer one, I believe. This one is a lot older. And man, y'all, it's just, don't skip out on this one. If you're in San Ignacio, it's not just about the height. Some people like Zunatanich because it's so high and it's all about the climbing up and making it to the top. This one has some height too, but that's not what's going to grab you. It is going to be the energy of this place. I mean, I just had chills the entire time. Here in San Ignacio, and again, trying to get as much in as we possibly could. We didn't check out the Keys because, of course, like I said, there was a hurricane going on, or had been, and so we didn't want to, take the chance on going across the waters and getting stuck. Of course, businesses were probably still boarded, so no disappointment here. No disappointment. Those of you who know or don't know, I am not a Key Calker fan. The Keys are cool, but I wanted her to experience the Keys just because, it's her first trip. But again, when you have someone that you're traveling with and you are kindred spirits and, you're connected and you're just chilling, it's easy breezy. They're getting in, fitting in, and you can vibe that way. And it's so important, y'all. I don't want to bring up the sister that we all are so hurt by, the tragedy of the North Carolina sister. I'm only going to say that it is so important to travel with people that you feel most comfortable with. I always say I'm a solo traveler, and I honestly have to say this sister visited me made me rethink some things. Now, I still like traveling by myself for some of the same reasons that are being speculated about. Unfortunately, the sister, we don't know all the details. It's horrific. One thing is for sure, you can read energy. And we know that obviously those were not her friends. And we use the word friends too lightly. Your friends, especially when you're traveling out of the country, anything can happen. I mean, anything can happen anywhere. But when you are out of the country, especially when you're exploring different things and, you just don't know what could happen. You got to have a team with you. You got to have people who love and care about you, who are going to be concerned. You do need some mother hens and some sister girls. Not that your fun is going to be, diminished, because there's somebody that's being too consumed with being cautious. But hopefully that story will caution many of us to, number one, travel with people who you're really connected to. And sometimes, unfortunately, you still don't know, because people act funny when they get out of the regular space. You still don't ever really know people. You just got to be careful and know that you're evenly yoked with your friends. It's just as important to be evenly yoked with girlfriends as it is with guy friends or someone you're dating. It is very important. So y'all, let's use that as a lesson, as tragic as it is. But this trip here, I tell you, I really am so thankful that the sister came, and that I was willing to put aside some things that I've been holding about solo traveling. So we got some massages, and then this is a cool place to go eat in San Ignacio. San Ignacio, where we stayed at the Venus Hotel, they were pretty close, pretty convenient to everything downtown San Ignacio. They were wonderful, by the way. Shout out to Venus Hotel. I didn't do a whole lot of picture taking. I think, sisters, anybody traveling, hey, y'all, get y'all some body cameras, get some selfie sticks, because I'm just not the person, I'll take footage for my YouTube, but I'm usually into things that may not involve selfies all the time. I get a little irritated with selfies. We've dropped her off at the airport, and what was his name? Really cool driver that if you're staying again in San Ignacio, we had a private driver take her to the airport. And it was really cool because he allowed me to go and drop her off and then bring me back to the hotel. So I hadn't really explored parts of the villages around San Ignacio. I've only been to downtown San Ignacio. So this was really cool because, man, when I tell you, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I think this shot here, this might be San Antonio. Don't quote me. I'll go back. But I know that we went through San Antonio and Crystal Ray. And yeah, because this is where one of the Garcia sisters stayed. So this is San Antonio. And he introduced me to one of the healers.
I think it's a sister of local sister of same Garcia.
Sister Aurora. And her older sister lived there in San Antonio. Just beautiful. I mean, so beautiful. There's a resort that's here. And I tell you, just breathtaking. Videos don't do it justice. You just can't capture. I mean, of course, on my phone. Maybe if I had some fancier equipment, I could actually capture it. But it is just so beautiful. Thank you for being patient. I have had to hustle up, y'all. I've been in Belize for a year. So I had to come back, hit the ground running. So I have been working in my business and having a year of mail to catch up and household chores and all sorts of stuff going on. So I will get back on track. I just want to leave this with you because at least I was able to capture something and update you on what's going on in my life. I'm still working on my book. I've wanted to do something of a guide. Thank you for those who responded. I asked about, did you think a guide on Belize would be more beneficial than something else? I had some options up there. I did a survey where I wanted to know what would be more of interest, but I'm not sure if the guide is what I really want to do because things change so, and I don't want to keep updating. And you can Google most things about, questions that you may have about traveling to Belize and different places and visas and that sort of thing. You can find that out. I am thinking that my book will probably deal more with some of the social aspects of it and the cultural aspects of it. I'm feeling more called to do that and to kind of deal with some of the things that I learned about myself and some things that I was really surprised by. I'll just end with this by saying, as a Black woman from the States, I kept, the running theme for me was what it is to be a black woman in the States. What it is to be a black woman in the States is not the same as being a black woman in Central America. And that adjustment is where my lesson was most profound, because I had to really confront who I am as a black woman. And when you have other black people from the States around you who get you, because that is also their story as a black person in America, North America. Caribbean, it's not the same. And I would imagine, even though we're all black folk, yes, we are. Globally, we are all black folk. But I must admit that black folks from the States, we are different. We are different. I was looking at a video where Tariq Nasheed was saying his new term, FBA. What does it stand for? Man, I done forgot. Something Black American. I'm trying to think what the F is for. You know, of course, I'll post it here. Fundamental or something. The F is for something, but I must agree, because we will have to start embracing, and I'm not giving up the term black yet. I'm not there yet. But as far as being indigenous and being people who have a culture and not always romanticizing about what it is to be connected to our history and our people and our language, and we have a culture, we have a history in the Americas. And I do think we may need to start embracing that. I mean, I may be preaching to someone who's already there, but that for me is something very new. I understand we came before Columbus. I understand my history of the Olmecs and having that connection of knowing that we were global travelers and that, you know, we've been all over the place. But I mean, as far as having to identify ourselves by reaching to a country other than America and not claiming America as our own and seeing it as, you know, our culture, seeing it as who we are and embracing it and standing on it, standing up in it. I think that's been the biggest lesson for me, because when you travel abroad, you cannot erase your Americanism. You won't be able to do it. And it wasn't that I was trying to erase it. It's just that I was forced to face it because people are going to remind you, they're going to tell you, they're going to know you're American. Even though you're black and you're among black people and you can look like the locals, but you're still different. And that is what probably was the biggest lesson for me, that I have to find peace with accepting America for what it is. You know, it's who we are. And it's not anything to be ashamed of or to be considered, you know, a sellout. We did build it. It is ours. And wherever you go, there you are. We are, those of us from the States, or the black folks, we are Americans. We are. I haven't said that I was American. I keep telling people this. I mean, I have not said that I was an American as much in my entire life as I did while there. Of course, you're always reminded, because when you go get your visa renewed and any papers you fill out, you know, you got to say that's what you are. You're a foreigner in a different country. And as much as I connected with people there, I'm still a black person, or whoever or whatever you all want to, I'm still saying black for now. I understand who we are in connection to the land. But yeah, it's been a journey, y'all. I want to thank you for rocking with me. I definitely have some content and things that I want to start. Now that I'm back home and in my studio, I have some ideas in my head that I may play with. I used to do this thing called, what was it called? Massage chair chat. But I want to do something where I have guests and I just kind of vibe, with the different guests. That's always tricky though, because it's one thing when you're just a one-woman show and you can, come up with content and do it on your own. But once you start something, then you start relying on guests. It adds some extra stress because you may not always have a guest. Or a guest may not come through, or the guest may not turn out to be, what you had in mind as far as the angle that you were going to present. So we shall see. But regardless of what it will be Spine, Shine, Goddess. Standing up and shining despite your history, despite anything you've had to overcome. It takes a spine to stand. I've had someone recently ask, I'm just curious, what does that mean, spine, shine, goddess? I've used the word goddess for years, but spine because I'm a children's author, so the spine of a book. I'm a massage therapist, the spine of the body. And of course, shining just meaning to glow, to flow, to be your best self, but to also be real and whatever that is, but shine at the same time. Be a light. And I just want to bring it back to our sister. Man, y'all, it's just so sad. I mean, I've been following that case because there were so many parts of it that I identify with in terms of friendships. When you're looking at women friendships, how complicated they can be. They can be pretty tricky. And I'm a little jaded. I admit I've had some experiences while even being in Belize that were learning experiences. Yeah, they were, taught me some things, but I'm trying not to let that be, I don't want that to be the entire narrative of traveling solo. I like the idea that, again, higher vibration was able to come along and enjoy her week and spend some time. And I really, really enjoyed our time. And I just wanted to leave with something positive, That's all, because we've had so much negativity. So after all that, I had to go see Dr. C. That's what this clip is above. And my student here, Norvia, she's opened up her own spot. And then some folks that I kicked it with some delicious soursop that my girl never got to eat. That's why we have her pictured here in front of the soursop. I devoured it. So I spent my last days with some good people, It ended not just with a solo, it ended with friendship. And it ended with a friendship abroad. Shine, y'all. Shine. Until next time, be peace. But if you have to be war, you be that too. Peace out, y'all.